And now, what's our next map? The A-team get another map choice.
Ooh.
Keeps getting given to them. They're taking us back to Volskaya. They're keeping it on familiar ground.
Yeah, that's exactly the map they've been choosing every single series up to this point. I'm not sure if they won Volskaya in the first set, but they definitely did in the second.
On it.
So that is amazing. All right, let's do this. Are we going to see another St. Ukov Alex Strasser here, just dominating those team fights all across the board? To be honest, though, his exotic Stukov, not Stukov, but Decker Kane build with the Lornada, which we don't really see every day, just continue to rock.
Oh, Kendrick.
Go for it.
Both series, Series 1 and Series 2, Volskaya was the very last map that was played. And the A-team won both times. It was their closer.
Ooh.
They're 2-0 up. They could have 3-0 on Volskaya today and have it be their closer every single time, or KT are about to be the combo breaker.
Can they make it 3-2, 3-1, 3-0?
I mean, that would be incredible. And once again, it would literally just... you can't go higher than that, though. It's just like, oh, we somehow won this best of 5, 2-0. How did we do this? I don't understand.
Well, maybe
we just got to buy in the final game. It's all good.
Maybe tomorrow they're going to slow things down a little bit and go back to 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah. That makes
Perfect
sense.
triangle.
Makes sense.
All right.
I give it. All right. Phoenix, first pick for KT. Taking that away. With Diablo already gone, we're already losing a fair amount of the slows.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. Sergeant Hammer. Looks like the A-team does not want to deal with that anymore. Genji also certainly a very common and a very good ban for sure. Now, which heroes are left to be picked here? Thrall and Malfurion. Looks like Bruiser is back on that Thrall. We saw him play that in the past to great success. And also, St. Ukov, man. Third support he's busting out tonight. Moving on from Alex Strasser to Decker Kane to Malfurion right now.
He has already played a game or two of Malfurion, but it should be... It should be fine. It should be see the Kane coming out.
Like, I really don't think that any of the players of the A-team has shown a really great weakness up to this point. No matter who you watched, whether it was the Assassin, Backline, Olele, whether it's Bruiser, St. Ukov, man, they're all showing their A-game, that's for sure. But KT, can they stabilize right here, right now? I wasn't really sure about that Haymaker either. Like, it seemed to me like Hikari in their previous game was exceptionally squishy for Muradin.
He was. The Haymaker, he did actually seem to struggle. You bring up an excellent point there. The Haymaker, I saw it used once, and it was on Greymane, which sent him like a full Haymaker's distance away from the actual fight. And then Greymane casually walked back into the fight and got a kill.
Right.
It was it was not ideal. Need to like hit them over a wall or something to really gain the value out of that, at least in that last game. Tyrael returns, as does Jaina. Jaina on Jaina.
Of course, going back to the classic. And the problem with a Haymaker Muradin is you need to be the playmaker, the aggressor. If you have to use Haymaker from a defensive point of view, or from a defensive standpoint, then there's only so much you can do. Yes, it is an okay disengager against certain heroes, but normally it will only buy you a few seconds, and you're going to get squashed down immediately if you don't have a Dwarf Toss ready. So, it's really one of the... Zeratul Greymane. That's a lot of single target burst damage.
They have Tyrael. Everyone has self-sustain. Double Icebox, assuming Jaina can get it online. Drossel Resilience, Shields from Tyrael, Sanctification, if that is what they're going for, which I think is very potentially what they're going to do here. They bring out Cassia, even more self-sustain against the double kind of auto-attack. There's still a little bit of extra ability power from Zeratul there. But the A-team, they're sticking with the pattern. They've got Olele on the Cassia, it's good. They've got Jaina on Jaina, it's good. I think the A-team might close this out.
Did you just see what I saw? I think it's Timeless on the Zeratul. So Timeless takes things into his own hands here, takes matters into his own hands, and busts out one of the hardest to execute playmaking heroes when they're with their backs against the wall. That takes a lot of bravery, man.
It takes a lot of bravery or a lot of silliness. You gotta...
Sometimes these two are very close to one another, man.
So, you gotta... Like, it could be genius. It could be tilt. Why would you take a risk in this kind of situation? Just do what you know and trust yourselves to play better. unless you are literally not trusting yourselves to play better in the roles that you've been playing all season, or at least in the last week, then I guess it makes sense for Tyler to be on the Zeratul, because he's the off laner. So I'm going to retract what I said, because I've talked myself into it. If he's the off laner, this is the hero the style of hero he's been playing for the last week or so. So I take back what I said. I think it's fine.
But the thing is, Timeless hasn't played a single Zeratul game that we say, you know, that was awesome. That was the best Timeless Zeratul I've ever seen. He hasn't done that once in the entire regular season. So can he pull it off? We're going to find out here, ladies and gentlemen, as we introduce the teams once more, potentially once more for you guys, with KT Hope playing on the Phoenix, Timeless on the Zeratul, TWT on that Decker Kane, Hikari on the Murden, and Hape is playing the Greymane.
And on the right-hand side, it is the A-team, with Jaina on Jaina, Olele on the Cassia, Bruiser on Thrall, Saint Okov playing the Malfurion, and Kaitu is on the Tyrael.
All right, it is match point for the A-team here. Can they pull it off yet again? Can they do it one more time? Now, as much as we said kind of not so positive things about KT's roster here in the draft, I still think it's damn lethal. If A-team just drops the guard for 1 second, you can lose your lives to a Greymane Zeratul Assault, even a Cassia, because there's still plenty of ability damage left available for them. And by the same token, we only see a single frontliner with Tyrael. Thrall can help out a little bit in that regard, but Tyrael, man, he's going to have to be on top of his game, needs to bring all that kite and all that peel for the backline when there is so many hypermobile heroes jumping onto them. Timeless.
Really, Tyrael's got to bring all that kite. By Timeless. Oh, not by Timeless. That was very close.
Holy moly.
Very nice.
Could that be the omen? Could that be an example of how the game is going to go until the end? Timeless making plays and barely escaping. Looking good. Contradicting everything we said.
To see. I mean, making plays implies he did something. He did a little bit of damage and nearly died. I would argue that that is not so much making plays as getting outplayed and managing to crisis control it.
Definitely look good. For now, though, we see a common phenomenon here in the Chinese region. A lot of early focus being put onto the Healing Pulse camp. Looks like KT's a little bit too late to the party, and a relatively uncontested healing upgrade goes over to the A-team, which is going to be very, very useful for that first capture point. Hape, in the meantime, wasn't really, you know, idle. He took his own mercenary camp, took the turret. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if the A-team followed suit here very shortly. They have Cassia, they've Malfurion and the Thrall postured up already.
Now then, we do have Stukov grabbing the, Saint Okov, as we have been calling it, grabbing his own team's turret. We're going to begin to use that for the objective once it does activate, which will be quite soon. We're approaching that stage of the game at this point.
Yep. Tyrael, by the way, not going for the Justice for All. Just a quick update on the talent build. He went for the self-sustain, if you will. Once Tyrael's Righteousness, the shields get broken, he has a little bit of extra healing going on for himself only, though. And also, only the shields on himself will be stronger. Just a little bit. Jaina, goodbye.
Lovely gank by KT, able to pick that up, but the perfect timing is not the perfect timing. Perfect timing would be at like 18 sec with like 2 seconds left on the point. So it was a good attempt. Hikari also attempting to pile on the aggression and really snowball them by moving in for an aggressive play onto the enemy mercenary camp. Not happening though, was already taken.
Okay. Thatcher, that was the value of the Sapphire, right? Level 1 talent for Decker Kane. If you activate it, your next slow is going to be much more efficient. And that's actually what prevented Jaina from running away, from running out of the Scroll of Sealing. So really good timing, as you said. So now, first capture point is ready. The healing is real now for Kaitu. Trying to get sustained as much as he can. It's a little bit isolated, though. He needs to be careful.
Rotational positioning is much better for Thrall than it is for the Phoenix if he wanted to join his team here. Zeratul goes very deep and dies, as Thrall was able to rotate up very nicely. Thrall could have used the conveyor belt if he wanted to rotate even quicker. Hikari is forced back. Fend is lovely, but Shield... No, Shield Potion not enough. Picking up the kill, double kill for the A-team, and their percentage now is going to begin to tick up.
And they didn't even have to use a single item, Tetra. They still have their healing pulse. They still have the turret as well. A-team just dominating the early game. Well, speaking of domination, I think Jaina is going to find her master in Phoenix. And Phoenix should still have the teleport unless he used it aggressively to chase her down.
Oh, lovely route. Immediate shutdown on that TP allows him to pick up the kill on Phoenix. 2 kills to 3 in favor of the A team. As they once again re-move onto the point. They did move off to go for that aggressive play.
Yeah. So 65% of the channel process still in favor of KT, but there's still a man down. Doesn't seem to stop Hikari from going in aggressively though. Timeless. Oh my goody goodness.
Nice potions, keeping him alive. They move forward very quickly, looking to try and make the play using that Tyrael movement speed boost onto Hape as they take him down.
And it looks like the rhythm of KT has been broken. They tried to make this happen, although the fact that Phoenix was nowhere near to be found, they probably hoped on the fact that someone on the side of A team was side soaking. So maybe they thought of, you know, getting a 4 versus 4. As it is, the first protector already unlocked for the A team. How much value can they get out of it? 2 melees up in it. I like it. I really like Tetra that a lot of the Chinese teams today, they aren't sending the supports in that protector anymore. It used to be a common thing, right, that we were criticizing, but now they really learned the lesson, it seems. I like it.
Yeah, just then they put both the frontliners in. Guess what the protector can do? Frontline! Hooray! Moving in for Hope. Hope decides to leave as soon as possible because the protector is horrible damage. As we see the nice little route onto Hape as they begin to turn around and just punch him. And nice little duel between the wolf and the robot there.
If all things go correctly, though, the robot should reign supreme. So Hape is going to have to be a little careful here. Looks like the robot is still not out of ammo. Still trying to actually get a grapple here onto Hape. Takes terrible damage. The machine gun is firing all the way through, and down goes the Greymane.
Boom. They don't have the route on off cooldown, otherwise they could have maybe made the play onto TWT. Protector finally expires. They weren't able to finish off top 4, but they grabbed the entire front wall, grabbed the fountain, and they're looking pretty good to head back into lane and potentially dominate the lane setup, especially in top lane, due to the lack of sustain that Phoenix is going to have. Phoenix is going to have to do so much juggling with his shield now in order to gain value.
Alrighty then, so we do see Timeless here with Seeker in the Dark at level 7, so it basically takes 50% longer to explode. Can be reactivated again though for extra mobility, and also gives a movement speed according to that, so...
This used to be the go-to talent back when you actually had Vorpal Blade as a talent. So he's using, instead of going for Wormhole, he's using that as his engage and Q as his disengage. Interesting, because you have Vorpal Blade as a default now. So it's a weird build, but it might work in terms of damage output. It certainly is a less expected form of engage.
And Tetra, look at that. Kaito, man. Tyrael is holding on to his level 10. He's not showing us what he's going to go for just yet. Are they going to go full aggression mode with a Judgment, or are they going to pop the Sanctification in the nick of time? I think they're definitely going to Sanct, though.
I was about to say, is Judgment worth? You Judgment deck it? Actually a target. And then, what do you follow up with? Jaina Q, I guess? You got full Q build. Cassia Fend. It'd be weird. Oh my god, Bruiser got chunked by Hape there.
Oh man, that could have actually escalated real hard if Bruiser had taken any more damage from either of the heroes of KT. Greymane fully went ham on that, fully committed. Okay,
I thought it through, and I will be very upset if they pick anything except Sank. I mean, if they pick Judgment and just start getting kills all over the shop, then cool, good for them. But Sank's it works for their comp right now. Everything's built around that sustain area.
Yeah, Hikari actually didn't show himself, so they still know that Murden is in that bush, waiting to maybe lock onto someone. Doesn't have the bravery, though, to go for St. Uka.
We see the wraparound. Hikari using that stealth position. Hape rotates around as well. VP, my man's telling me no, but my body's telling me justice is currently delayed because it's nap time. Hape immediately sends out a salvo, picks up the kill onto Thor. It's a great wraparound here. They're double healing pulse. Yeah, not great value overlaying those. But Judgment onto the Muradin, and down he goes.
Are you kidding me right now? So instead of Sanctification and the peel and protection it provides, they're fully relying on Malfurion's Tranquility, the healing pulses maybe, and they used the Judgment here as a chase tool on the Muradin. Out of all the targets, he didn't have anything left, no Dwarf Toss, no Avatar. That was all he wrote there basically, and can they do it, man? Can they do it with this very aggressive playstyle?
They're going to try. I mean, there's a lot of targets, there's no cleanse. They have a fair amount of follow-up damage.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an execution style comp, and it's certainly going to annoy Timeless because he's not got Wormhole. He's going to have a little bit of a tougher time actually escaping.
Yeah. So I think almost every target in the backline from the A team will have some sort of self-protection, right? We're going to have double Ice Block eventually with Malfurion and Jaina. We're going to have Kasi, who's already very self-sustainable with that physical armor and the Ring of the Leech. We're going to have Thrall, who's the king of self-sustain at this point. So maybe... Oh, Jaina doesn't have Ice Block yet. See you later.
Cheeky 1v1. I see. Should have just sent the Water Elemental after him. But you can 1v1 me and leave. Here is round 2. Goodbye, Olele. Never mind. Good job, Olele. Wow. He's invincible. As he pulls backwards, Zeratul comes in for another round. Here's the Earthquake. Finally gets him with the cleave. Nicely done. Timeless actually died for that. So... Yeah. It's nicely done, but he got Olele, so that's who he was going for. So mission accomplished, team. As Hate takes a lot of damage, and everyone from the A team has to pull back. They don't have Jaina here. It's currently a 4v3 against them, and they go deep anyway with Kaitu. Drops low, and down he goes. Too greedy.
Down he goes. Is it going to be a wave clear trade? No, it's actually going to be an empty trade. No value whatsoever. But yeah, that was a little bit over reckless, I would say, from Tyrael. True, he is self-sustainable. True, he's a little tankier than most other Tyraels with that build, right? The level 1 Self-Heal and the Stalwart Angel at level 4. But even Tyrael couldn't have sustained through all of that, and that was a little bit of an unnecessary play. They were already down Jaina, who had just died a few moments ago, and they still tried to go full reckless mode. That could actually bite them in the end, because this series is not over just yet. KT can still stabilize. There's still a team to be reckoned with.
Both teams have abandoned the point. This is all about XP. KT know that even if they got the objective with the XP they are behind, they wouldn't really get that much value out of it. So the split soak attempt, it's such a risky move though. We've seen this backfire so hard in the past. But with with Judgment back, Tyrael just walks casually past Akari onto the point. He's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? Nothing, that's what. As he takes up positioning.
Oh, now Muradin on the treadmill though, couldn't just walk it back in there because of the conveyor belt. So yeah, St. Ukov needs to be careful. Took a lot of damage already. Zeratul is still nowhere to be found. He's still in the middle, so is Phoenix. Turret used early. Can they protect it a little bit?
They still have Jaina with a turret as well. They were able to pick that up.
Need to use it immediately.
Kari goes deep. Bet you wish you had Sack, friend. Down goes Olele. Oh, wait. Yeah, Olele went down. The Judgment for the turnaround. The sleep.
DWT, the turret.
The turret is good. Damage output. They turn it round. DWT gets out of range of the turret. Turret turns around onto him. Down goes Mouth. Kaitu, why didn't you pick Sank? So look at all those low hit point bars.
Yeah, I mean, the Judgment was very close to getting at least a little bit of value there on the Decker King, but he was too tanky. That turret, those little tickle projectiles, I don't even know what it's shooting. It wasn't enough to bring down Decker Kane. 10 armor for the win, the lower cooldown, and the potions. But I fully agree with you. With a nice sanctification, Olele stays safe there on the Cassia, and you're probably going to win the team fight.
Man, it's just... I mean, KT should, in theory, be able to at least push through the tier 2 towers here. Thunderstroke's done, though, so damage output from Olele is going to be pretty mental. But it's all coming down to the amount of CC that's landing onto, like, Olele and Malfurion and all these people. And that's all down to the fact, guess what? You don't have cleanse, and you don't... Well, you do, but it's on Malfurion, which is a side issue. You don't have a proper cleanse, and sanctification isn't the extra protection you need. The shielding coming out with Tyrael didn't even go for the extra team shielding. It's all an issue.
And the moment KT picks up a little bit of momentum, man, they are a very scary team to face. They have outstanding individual players. They just need to utilize the value, and I think that's currently what they're trying to do with that Protector, man. Taking down structure after structure. The bottom lane completely exposed up to this point. And I gotta give it to Timeless on that Zeratul. True, he might not go for the most standard build, but the VPs have been absolutely on point up to this.
That they have. They have been very, very nice indeed. So now we are going to see the A team rotate out, rotate to the mid lane. They're just staying very much in their base. It's about to be 17 to 18. Currently 16 to 18. Kaitu dodges the Protector damage. This will guarantee them yet another fort. All 3 forts down eventually.
Almost.
Okay, well that one will actually survive for quite a while as Protector goes down.
Yeah, eventually this fort will of course fall, maybe with a cheeky split push, or at the very latest, the next Protector, if it goes over to KT again. And speaking of the protector fights, man, A-Team, especially Kaito, needs to mind his positioning a little bit more, in my opinion.
Kaito's gone an entire level without picking his level 16. Finally picks it up. I believe that's the Burning Halo.
That it is.
Alright, stun onto Tyrael. He immediately blocks in Muradin. VP's good. Judgment on Timeless. They blow him up, but they lose Cassia in exchange. Sleep on Kaito is good. Here comes the salvo for the turnaround. They're in the Earthquake, so great damage. Jaina's down. Stukov is completely alone here. He is absolutely going to die. Ice blocks for the delay tactics, but he gets taken out too. A 3-for-1 in favor of KT.
And Tetra, that is the problem of a solo Tyrael tank, right? You don't have CC to stop that onslaught. Like, once the Judgment is used, and once KT have had a good VP, there's just nothing to stop them anymore. And in this location especially, you could really see how there was a wedge driven in between the members of the A-Team. 2 members on the bottom half, 3 members on the top half. There was nothing for them to do. So unless they finally find their rhythm again, I think KT's going to walk away in those team fights with superior focus fire, superior damage as well, and this could very well become a 2-1.
I mean, level 20 is about to be hit by KT in the A-Team. Malfurion's only just coming back to life. They hit level 18. They're still 2 levels away from getting to their Storm tier talents.
That it is, man. It's a rough situation for the A-Team. They really need to do some catching up. They need to play it a little more passively here. Thunderstorm coming in for Thrall. That's going to be a nice power spike for him. Double Chain Lightning, of course, means that he has more damage, more self-sustain as well to fill up his Frostgrowth Resilience stacks. Maybe that's going to help him out a little bit here.
But Zeratul, he's hit his power spike. It's so much more difficult to actually kill him now, which is a nightmare. Silencing Stay a While and Listen or Respect Your Elders from the Decade Cave makes, of course, him even more deadly. He's already been hitting multi-man sleeps every single time. And full resets for the Greymane. He wants all those kills.
Yes. Hungry Greymane is definitely confirmed here. That could be very dangerous, especially for heroes like Cassia, Jaina. If they don't use their defensive cooldowns early enough, like the Ring of the Leech, you know, you need to hit that blind, like the Ice Block on Jaina. Greymane is going to have a heyday in your backline. And look at Timeless, man, always trying to get those cheeky plays in. Here comes the flank, and Timeless trapped them in a VP.
Looking for it. They're all grouped up. 2 in the VP.
3.
This time, there's no follow-up damage. Timeless goes down to the full lightning, but the sleep and silence is good. Purification salvo, this is what's ruined them before. They're turning it round. Judgment, this is the A-Team's do-or-die move. They're pre-20 fighting here, but they can't catch Hikari.
They can't catch Hikari this time around. He no longer relies on the Haymaker like he did in the previous game. He's now Avatar. Stone Skin at the ready as well. What can they do with a 1-man advantage? 40 seconds, Tetra.
It's not 1-man advantage, it's even. Jaina died.
Oh, never mind then. That's a 1-1 though. Still good news.
20's not here yet. This is rough for the A-Team, but that's one of the best fights they've had so far. They're able to get a very good angle. They're going to actually move up to the point, potentially use the Holy Ground to try and steal this. No, they're blocking in. They are going. Hope is low. They get the kill, steal the turret. And what is happening, Kendrick? The A-Team, they move forward, marching across the map, trying to block them away from the base. They let GWT through. Are they going to teleport? They're going to risk? Yes, they do. It's so risky. They move back. Not worth the dive. That's too much damage.
Exactly. That was too much damage by those structures there. They had to use
20.
Yeah, there goes the 20. They had to use one of the turrets. That's okay though, because they're now back in the game. They have 35 seconds until Phoenix comes back. That's the majority of the range damage coming in for KT. Timeless on the Zeratul is still here though. 12 seconds until the VP. A-Team is now fully grouped up, and Tyrael has a massive tankiness boost now with that Defense of the Angels.
They also have Earthen Shields coming in. Good! Holy Ground there, but they're not going to die for Kari. They're just zoning him away, at least for the moment. Winter Mute for Jaina. So much damage. Her Ice Block will be online by this point. Extra armor from the Tranquility of Stukov here. They once again, Holy Ground to zone, holding the point, 72%. Bruiser needs to be careful where he stands as Timeless is hovering around.
Yeah, Thrall basically acting like a secondary warrior right now, trying to hold the front line for his teammates.
Not good angle.
Kaito, though, he's probably going to use that Sanctification as a gap closer. Bruiser now isolated. This is going in overtime, Tetra. This is everything that matters for the A-Team.
Hape's not in the best position here. Here comes the Avatar being used here. As in the meantime, the Phoenix gets deleted. Sleep is good, but it only really hits Malfurion, but the Tranquility was already active to keep him alive. They're diving forwards. The overtime ticks down. Protector is acquired as they dive deep, picking up another 2 kills, 3 kills. Timeless, the only survivor, getting the Protector and take it to mid lane. We're going on a road trip, boys.
The A team is waltzing through. We're going to take another look at that replay. Murden, out of all the people, was completely shut down by that judgment. But here comes the VP. Beautiful protection, though. The Tranquility Earthen Shield protection value was insane. Hape on the Greymane. He had no way left to run. Beautiful Holy Grounds all over the place. And Hikari made the disaster perfect. And with 4 members dead, a late-game Protector, they're just steamrolling over the base of KT. No VP available to buy a little bit of extra time. And Tetcher, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the upset completed. The A team, the bottom tier team coming from the open and amateur division. They're going to our day number 2 of the playoffs tomorrow to face Beyond the Game.
Wow, that is a comeback. That was brutal. That was a brutally one-sided game from KT. I don't think they'll ever overcome the if they're ones to get tilted. I don't think you can ever overcome the tilt of a game like that. But oh my god, that was so one-sided in favor of KT. But all it took was one fight to go 1-1 and then a beautiful dive onto that Merc camp using Holy Ground to perfection.
And wonderfully done by the absolutely true, and we're going to show you the live reactions of our Chinese commentator colleagues here. Q on the left-hand side and Nostally on the right-hand side. They can't believe it themselves. They have been casting this region alongside us here the entire season. And A-Team, they were the punching bag of the league, right? Everybody had those secure points against them. Every now and then they were able to get a 1-1 in there, but nobody, absolutely nobody, believed in them to take all 3 series today against enemies like RPG and most certainly KT, who on paper proved to be the major favorites.
Oh man, the A team. First series, 3-2 versus Team Nut. Series 2, 3-1 versus RPG. Series 3, 3-0 versus KT. They are now 1 best of 5 series away from going to the Eastern Clash. And I really, for the first time, I really want to say, I wish we had more games, because I want to find out now! I want to know!
Oh. Tetcher, you still have so much time until the Open Division starts. We've never been through this
let's bring up China, get them on the horn, and be like, hey, can you guys keep going for like another hour? That'd be great.
That's amazing, man. But I'm fully down with you. I really think that today's series have been exceptionally entertaining, and mostly, of course, because of the A-Team just playing out of their minds. And what have they shown us today? Did they play standard every single game? Hell no. They showed us the Illidan several times with great success. They showed us Lornados, Alex Strasser across all the board. I mean, they're just such a versatile team, and in my opinion, fully deserve to be where they are right now.
We need to hurry up and get those A-Teams, 18-bit donation options in.
Man,
we need to wait for them soon as possible. But, ladies and gentlemen, we still have the analysis segment to go through, but unfortunately that was our final HGC China game of the day.
But more is to come, of course. We're going to have a full day of playoffs tomorrow and on Wednesday with 2 best of fives respectively. So tomorrow, as we said before, we're going to see the A-Team again, and that alone is reason enough to tune back in, as they're going to face Beyond the Game, a pretty hefty gatekeeper. But hey, we said the same thing about KT, right? And they just didn't care. They made it faster than before.
Oh, man.
3-0.
BTG looked so good last week, though.
That is correct. That's going to be a whole nother
really
level.
Good right now.
Yes. Even for the A-Team in full momentum.
I feel if they would have won easier with Sank. But they won with Judgment, so why can I complain?
But yeah, it's safe to say that the games tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, they're going to be in a whole different level. Like, Beyond the Game is kind of like the gatekeeper between, you know, the bottom tier teams and the top 3, CE, SPT, and the 1. And once you're past Beyond the Game, nobody's going to go easy on you anymore. You're going to face CE, then SPT, the super perfect team, and the 1, who are currently on the way to become, you know, the Chinese champions, which is insane. They've grown so much as a team as well.
absolutely insane. The top 5 already looks absolutely crazy. The entirety of the HGC China scene has grown. Still not feeling that confident about taking out our Korean overlords, but I think we can at least give them a scuffle.
Yeah. They're going to have that lucky punch, you know? That lucky punch threat is always there, especially with CE now having a coach with the one looking stronger than ever before. If at any given point one of the Korean teams lets their guard down, China can break through.
14 to 14, 2 structures to 3 in terms of kills. The only 2 they killed were literally mid lane. They took mid fort, mid keep, and ended the game. That's it. Oh boy. And everything else, so close. What's the second from the bottom? Because there was like almost 100,000 difference there.
That was hero damage done on average. Not on average, but in total.
Yeah, that one was quite one-sided. Kaito, I personally would just disqualify you from getting MVP just for not picking Sack, but those holy grounds, my man, well, you have it. So it's all yours. Well deserved.
I think it's safe to say we give him that as a series MVP, not of a game MVP, right? Because
I think the series MVP has to be Olele, Kaito, or
Seydukov maybe. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. They all played out of their minds today. This is the best A team.
Jaina obviously sort of flew under the radar today. That's not a usual thing for us to say.
And that's exactly what we're saying all day, right? Jaina is normally one of the star players, one of the more experienced ones, right? He played for... who did he play for last phase? I don't remember, but he's been in HGC China for a long time. What was it?
He played for Sunny Lion.
Sunny Lion, there we go. So for all of these amateur players from, the open division in China to step it up this much today, and I'm just... Let's see if I can get it right. Flabbergasted.
No.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
Mighty flabbergasted.
There is no Flubber. Flubber is a Robin Williams movie.
Still a good movie, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's great. All right. Hook. This is where they finally get a decent hook on the Sergeant Hammer. I don't actually even think they get the kill here. Maybe?
I'm not sure either.
They might get the kill here. I think this is about the body blocks of Olele.
This was definitely the last team fight, right? This is where they chase them down all the way in the bottom.
Holy Ground? They get him. Okay, so even with the Holy Ground, can't get him. And this is where Bruiser just absolutely outplays them. So good.
So good. Also, Bruiser, as you said, man, with the double hook. There it goes. So perfect scenario. Perfect target as well with TWT. But a good gust buys a little bit of time. But look at Olele. At this point, I was like, oh, is he really doing this? Olele frontlining Phoenix. But he all had it calculated. There we go.
All calculated. Lovely job. And they push in. And this is where they take the course. Salvo doesn't even get the kill here. It's just a race, right? They just push in.
Yeah.
Now we jump to game number 2. Nice and quick this time. As we see, this is where the Haymaker comes in. This is like the first Haymaker where I was like, well, that did nothing.
Yeah, so keep it on gets highlighted there as well by Nova. He's probably saying that the Haymaker, it was used there, but didn't really do anything. Probably not.
So let's put it out. Keep an eye on Greymane currently. He is at the bottom of your screen, Olele. Immediately, you can see he's got a stun above his head. He's right next to Muradin. This is because right now he is getting Haymakered. Lornado's here. It's causing a little bit of chaos. Yep. Greymane is going to go down to the bottom right of your screen here. Let's see how long it takes him to get back in the fight. 1, 2... basically 3 seconds and back in the fight. You burn to heroic to remove someone, do a minimal amount of damage, and then he still gets his heroic off and leaps back into the fight to kill Muradin.
Also, the moves here by Jaina on that Irel, absolutely fantastic. Not only did he zone out Stukov from that fight so he couldn't even heal his teammates, but the moment he dropped the lurking arm, he immediately interrupted it with a fully pre-charged hammer. That was amazing. Really bought his team so much time and momentum. And ladies and gentlemen, you remember that game on Volskaya Foundry, didn't you? That is going to be the final game that sealed the deal for the A-Team, and that was actually the last team fight of that series.
That it is. We've already seen the nice little zoning Holy Ground, and we immediately see Tyrael. I don't know why he chose this target, but it certainly worked. We've got a zoning Blizzard for Jaina coming in here, and Tyrael's like, well, this'll do. This is the one person we can maybe all close in on immediately. So they've got Judgment immediately going on to Muradin. Jaina, especially with the Winter Mute, completely zoning out Phoenix, which they just straight up kill. Muradin's forced to back up. He's now stuck on the conveyor belt, so he can't actually follow up on this sleep. It's only Greymane who's actually getting value right now in this position. Zeratul gets a good 2-man VP. Who's there to follow up on it? Absolutely no one.
I really like the fact that you brought up the Wintermute. Never sleep on a Winter-muted Water Elemental. This guy deals damage. It copies every basic ability of the Jaina in the direction of her cursor, and that's actually one of the reasons why Phoenix was getting popped to pieces in a few seconds there. Beautiful highlight, and I think without Phoenix, this whole team fight just goes south terribly. Phoenix, I'm not even sure if he had his level 20 up, but he just died like it wasn't even there.
Yeah, not sure. Either way, impressive, nicely done. But like we said, VP's down. Silence is applied to Malfurion and to Thrall, I believe. That's the one? Yep, it's Thrall. So he's woken up, but it's not a very long silence because Bruiser just turns around and just gets straight back in there, gets stuck in.
And look at that, the Water Elemental is actually still going. So it had, I think it had the full duration of copying and mimicking Jaina's abilities. That is huge, especially when it comes to chasing down people like TWT here. Look at that. The slow goes through. Hape is in a hopeless position there as well. And down they go.
Those javelins, actually. Those lightning javelins. You just saw them like get a double, almost triple hit. So getting the full damage output. But wow, nice. Good job, the A-team, going from last place to at minimum 5th.
That is absolutely insane. It's almost unheard of. We have never seen a team from the Open Division in China perform this well. Last phase, when Tetra was casting the playoffs with Kala, RPG was putting on quite a show, but even they
made it to this point, basically, but they also started from 7th.
Exactly. They started at 7th place, and they made it to this point. But I think it's safe to say that with the amount of veteran RPG has and still had, last phase, and if you take a look at the newbie roster, the rookie roster, I don't want to call them newbies anymore because they are just so good at the game. The rookie roster in HGC terms, it's just even more impressive that they can pull it off. And how many games did they play today? Was that the 13 games? 12 games? I think it was 12 games.
That should be exactly 12 games because they did a full 5. I thought 4 because they had one map left.
3.
And then a full 3, so 12. Maths is easy. This is why we always do it on stream, and there is no such meme as caster math.
Absolutely insane. 12 games in a row with minor breaks in between, and they still maintained all that focus, all that concentration. Absolutely amazing. Amazing, just like this stage, by the way, that they played on here. I mean, they must feel really proud of themselves. They've been playing on this stage the entire season, but here it's finally their moment in the limelight. And here, you guys, you can see the journey of the A-team. They reign supreme.